Welcome back to 5 Elements Tactical, the channel that covers self-defense, home defense, prepping, and survival. Today we're talking about 10 preps that you should get every time you go to Costco, or BJ's, or Sam's Club, or whichever one you got by you. Typically when I go, I realize that there's like 10 more or less categories that we use all the time in our house. And you probably use in your house too. So it can be a little bit costly when you go to a store like that because you got to kind of buy in bulk, and the most common thing that people will say is, oh, I don't have a really big family. But if the last few years didn't teach us anything else, it's you never know when the next pandemic, it could be around the corner, you know? So if you had to like hole up in your house right now, how long are you good to go for, you know? So we're going to talk about 10 preps that you should like check and add to every time you go to Costco or BJ's or Sam's Club. Stay with me. What's up, warriors? This is Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training, here to share with you some warrior skills and drills that anyone can learn and everyone should know. If you're new to the channel, welcome and thanks for stopping by. If you already follow us on social media and that's how you find your way over to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button and that little thing where it says all notifications, so YouTube will let you know when the next video drops and you get all sorts of cool content from here as well. Initially, I wanted it to be 10 specific items that you got to always get every time you go to Costco. But you know, the things that I get in my house might not be the things you get in your house. So ultimately, it's going to come down to like, I came up with 10 categories that you pick from that category which stuff you like to have in your house. You know, if somebody told me to get a certain type of meat or fish or soap or detergent or something like that, then I'm like, yeah, but I don't really like that stuff. It's the principle and the concept that's really important, more so than the specific item. So we're really going to go over 10 categories of items that next time you're making your list, you know, you plan your work and then you work your plan. You know, you don't want to write the list and then leave it at home. You can bring the list with you. So maybe you could use this to make a list, to go through the stuff that you already have in your house, and then you like fill in the blanks with the stuff that you use. And each and every time you go to Costco or BJ's or Sam's Club or whatever you have by you, and you go to your list, take an inventory of what you have at home, what you're low on, what you could use more of, what you go through a little bit more frequently or whatnot, and it'll help you guide your shopping. All right, so the first things first are going to be like grocery items, right? Now, typically when you go to the grocery store, the edges of the grocery store are all the fresh items. So like one wall will be like your meat, and the other one will be like your, you know, fresh produce, and another one will be like your eggs and dairy and milk and that type of stuff. The things that are in the aisles of the grocery store or the aisles of your big box store are going to be the things that are like most shelf stable and going to last the longest on your shelves at home. So all the stuff that we're going to go through today is really shelf stable stuff that whether it's your pantry, a closet, your garage, wherever you keep this stuff, it should last plenty long. All right, so first up, I buy a lot of, and we use a lot of this in the house. So like, you'll get a pack of 6 or 8 or 10, depending on, again, which store. This comes from BJ's, this comes from Costco, this is Kirkland brand, this is Wesley Farms. Kirkland is from Costco, Wellesley Farms is from BJ's, and it's just as good as the you know, the name brand stuff. A little bit cheaper, or you'll get a little bit more bang for your buck. Spam and Vienna sausages come like in these big containers, so it is a little bit of bulk shopping. But again, if it was going to be stuff that I was buying and it was going to go bad in the fridge, then that'd be, you know, wasteful. Whereas something that's got a really, really long shelf life that we're going to use at some point. Hey, groceries right now are insane. Everywhere you go, prices are just going up and up and up. Hyperinflation is driving prices up. Doesn't it look like the grocery stores need to go grocery shopping lately? So the stuff that I get there, oftentimes, more times than not, they have it in stock. And even when their prices are a little bit higher than usual, it's still cheaper than going to the grocery store. Now, when it comes to carbohydrates, like your basic, you know, healthy grains and stuff like that, I try to go with the stuff that I know that we're going to use in the house. And like these are like the 3 main favorites in my house. And again, you get these 2 huge boxes of Cheerios for like $5 maybe. That's a lot of bang for your buck. And remember that when it comes to survival, like emergency preparedness and like long-term prepping, long-term food storage, and for the purpose of surviving and thriving in a, you know, SHTF scenario or like pandemic or whatever it is, where you are like bugging in, locked down, locked in for a long, long time, like legit, you can't have like Domino's deliver a pizza type of stuff. it comes down to a calories game, right? So how long could you last? So like the average military age adult male engaged in average strenuous activity burns, I don't know, like 2,000 something calories a day, and it turns into like 750,000 calories per year, times however many people you have in the house. And, you know, I'll be burning a lot more calories than my 9-year-old daughter or my 2-year-old daughter or my 7-year-old son. So for me, you know, like they might get by on less, but I would probably need more. And depending on what you got to do, like, again, it comes down to calories. So again, when it comes to carbohydrates, cereal, cold cereal, hot cereal, all of it you get maybe like a bigger container for a lot less money. Pasta, and I'm big on, you know, get what you're going to use. So my kids eat mac and cheese like it's its own food group. So you can get a box of mac and cheese. There's maybe 18 boxes of mac and cheese in there for 15 bucks. That's cheaper than you'll get it in the grocery store. A 25-pound bag of rice. They have 50-pound bags of rice, but we're big on the jasmine rice. All right, next category is your fruits and vegetables. So they have a great, you know, selection of all sorts of canned, like we have corns, peas, string beans, even potatoes. I know beans is in the other category, but you know, whether you get the dry beans or you get cans of beans, there's a great selection they have there. Also jars, last a real long time also, but they'll have cans of fruit cocktail, jars of peaches, cans of pears. And remember that fruits and vegetables is going to be your vitamins and minerals. Now, there's also a saying like fresh, frozen, canned. Ideally, I'd rather have fresh meat, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. And if I can't get a hold of that, then frozen is next best. But if when you run out of fresh, or the power goes out and there's no more frozen, and either you've already eaten it all or it all went bad, your next best bet is going to be canned. Is it going to be as good? No, but it'll suffice, right? And it'll keep you fed. It'll keep you like, you know, I don't want to eat just a bowl of rice, but if I could put rice and some beans and some vegetables and some protein, now we got a meal. And again, a couple of cans of each thing goes a real long way. So the next thing that they have there that's, you know, definitely part of like your cooking and feeding your family is cooking oils. So we have like vegetable oil. We're big on olive oil. I always say that mayonnaise kind of falls into that category. I don't know if it's the most healthy fat, but it's, you know, one of those things you're going to use for making chicken salad, let's say, or tuna salad or whatever. A lot of times we use oil and vinegar. And again, they have all this stuff there, pretty big quantity for reasonably priced. The next category, and I guess I would call this calories. So you have like your protein, you have your veggies, you have your carbs and your grains and that type of stuff. But ultimately survival comes down to like fuel, right? We need fuel to keep us going. And calories is how we measure that fuel source. Peanut butter, unless you're allergic to it, then I guess you'd have to find something else. But it is basically calories in a jar. So to get like 2, you know, jars of peanut butter for I think like $9, and I forget how many there's, 84 servings times 190 calories. I'm not great at math, but you know, 200 times 80. I don't know what that is. It's a lot of calories though, right? And again, it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. And you know, if I'm going to make a category of peanut butter, we have to include jelly, which they always have there too. I don't know how many times I use peanut butter without jelly. I guess in my oatmeal. I like peanut butter in my oatmeal personally, but otherwise peanut butter and jelly, man. And every time you go to spend $9 and to get that many calories, if you have a real plan, like you're trying to figure out, hey, do we have enough to survive a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, and beyond that, it's going to come down to how many people you have in your house times 750,000 calories. And again, when you go through all of your preps, you might be like surprisingly disappointed. You might think you have a lot of food, if you have a lot of food, but when you add up the calories, you're like, oh my God, I thought it would have lasted longer. I know that's what happened with me. So an easy way to like throw in a very like calorie dense item into your preps is peanut butter and jelly. All right, so the next category is going to be over-the-counter meds, vitamins, and first aid supplies. And I kind of keep a lot of these things stored together where I keep all my preps. So like my over-the-counter meds, and I have everything from, you know, Motrin to Tylenol to what's the pink one for allergies? Babe, what's that called? Benadryl. It's a Benadryl to, you know, I get banging headaches if I don't have enough coffee, which should be on here, but it's not on this list. I don't know why it didn't make it to the list. Aleve. Again, when you get like a jar of these from Costco or BJ's, 400 caplets. 400? Like, you're not going to get that in the regular store. And you probably spend maybe 10, 15 bucks on it. But again, think of how long 400 of these will last you. Same thing with Motrin. I went with the Kirkland brand one because you get more bang for the buck, and it's all the same stuff. So I have like my over-the-counter meds, but then I also big on vitamins too, because if you're living on stuff that's like shelf stable and it's out of cans and jars and you know, it's not the freshest or frozen or healthiest version of all these other things, but it's the calories that are going to help you survive, but you also need the vitamins and nutrients. So to supplement what's missing from these things, I'm big on you know, vitamin C and multivitamins and all that other stuff, so that at least you're getting your nutrients and your calories. You know, again, if it's something that people are getting sick, you know, emergency, airborne, any of those other like vitamin C like infusers that help keep you healthy. I have another video on all the stuff that's in my first aid kit. You know, check that one out. But pretty much every time I go, I grab something that belongs in the first aid kit. Usually Band-Aids or Neosporin or triple antibiotic ointment or whatever, or gauze or cotton balls or something. But again, I check what I have, I check what I'm low on, and I add to it, because again, when I shop there, I might spend a few $100, but I come home with several $100s worth of stuff, like a lot of value for it. I try not to go as often, but when I go, I try to go with a plan. You know, when it comes to your over-the-counter meds too, like stuff, children's meds are usually pretty expensive. So, or I think more expensive in my opinion. So, you know, we have children's Tylenol, children's Motrin, children's Benadryl. Again, you know, if you got little kids, you're going to need stuff to, you know, to look after them as well. Now, I didn't bring up the whole, you know, case of them, but, you know, you go there and you get a case of toilet paper. Like, now that it's available, you might as well stock up on it, right? But when it comes to paper goods, there's your next category. So I'll get, every time I go, I get a big thing of paper towels, a big thing of toilet paper, a big thing of tissues, usually baby wipes, but that's in another category. But your paper goods. I usually use paper towels as napkins, but you know, if not, then I grab napkins as well. But your paper goods are something that you should always, like, you know you're going to use them. And you know, if I go to the grocery store and buy a roll of paper towels, I'm like, it pains me to do it, because I know how much more value I would get had I gone to Costco, BJ's, or wherever. Paper goods. All right, so the next category is personal hygiene. So again, how do I pick like 10 items and only have one of these things? So when it comes to personal hygiene, of course, it's going to be keeping yourself clean, right? Your hair, your nails, your skin, your body, you know, things, all the stuff that you would typically use to wash yourself, either in the sink or the bath or whatever. So I thought this was pretty interesting, that when at the height of, I guess, March, April of 2020, when everybody was walking around with gloves and masks and face shields and hazmat suits to go shopping and, you know, 6 feet distance and all that stuff, I remember going to Costco, and everybody, you couldn't find anything that said like Clorox on it or Lysol. All that stuff was gone. Like, you couldn't find toilet paper either, which I still don't understand. But soap, like, I remember just coming home with a lot of soap. I'm like, all the news is talking about is like, you know, bleach and everything and whatever they were saying. And nobody was buying soap. They were buying toilet paper, but not soap, which whatever. So the next category is like, again, we use refillable, you know, liquid hand soap, whatever your favorite bar soap is, whatever your favorite toothpaste is, your favorite shampoo, you know, mouthwash. I'm a baby powder junkie. It's not always the most manly thing to be grabbing female, feminine, whatever you call them, products. But, you know, a deal is a deal is a deal, right? Baby, which ones do you like? Well, how many do you need? Is this a good deal? Oh, it is? Okay, good. And then you throw it in the cart, you bring it home. Personal hygiene. All right, so the next category is like disinfecting products. So things that you would use to clean your house, clean your dishes, to wash stuff. So whether it's your laundry detergent, things you put in your laundry, bleach. I use bleach to clean anything that like you want to clean. Use bleach, except for your clothes. Dish detergent, the Clorox wipes, you know, Lysol. Again, whatever your favorite cleaning products are. I feel like Grammy was able to clean everything with, like, I guess bleach, vinegar, some other stuff, ivory soap. But again, the next category is go through your cleaning supplies. Like, what stuff do you use to wash your clothes, wash your house, clean the floor, wash your dishes, you know, that type of stuff. Write it down, go through your list, and check your prices, man. You'll be pretty happy over at Costco and BJ's. All right, number 10, you ready for this? Batteries. So when it comes to like most of our flashlights, equipment I use at my police job, a lot of my gear that I use for survival training, I try to stick with as much as possible. I try to get as many things that go with AAA, but I still have a lot of things, kids' toys, remote controls. You know, some of my gear runs on AA. So the vast majority of the batteries that I stock up on, maybe not every single time I go, but almost every single time I go. Definitely if I catch it on sale. If I catch it on sale, I'll get maybe, you know, 2 packs, 3 packs, or whatever. Or sometimes I'll grab as many as they'll let you grab. They'll say you can only have 5 of them. But like the last time I went, I think it was $10 for 48 AAA or 48 AA. And I think I got 4 packs. I got two of each. And that's so cheap. $10. Again, maybe usually it's $15, which is still pretty cheap. But think of how many things you use in and around your house that rely on batteries. So especially if it's a grid down or a blackout kit or blackout scenario where the power is out, and you're going to need all this stuff, but you're going to need to be able to see in the dark, right? Or your kids' gadgets or whatever. So a lot of things that'll help you pass the time and kind of like your comfort items are going to rely on some batteries. So a great thing to stock up on. I would say almost every time you go, I have C batteries because I have kerosene heaters that the electric starter runs on a C battery. I have some D batteries because I have a big boombox radio that, whether it's for music or listening for the news or whatever, you know, that relies on a D battery. If the power was out, and I have a separate thing that I use to fill up an air mattress that runs on like a pump that runs on D batteries. So you think of the things that you need, not just when times are good, but when things are a little bit crazy. And again, you see what you need, you get what you need, and a good idea is to keep some sort of inventory, or to at least wherever you're having your preps stashed and stored away, that's in some sort of organized fashion. All right, and the bonus item, water. So again, you need 1 gallon per person per day in any sort of like grid down or survival scenario. For basic emergency preparedness, you have an idea of how many people you live in your house, times 1 gallon per person per day. My house, that's 6 gallons per day, and that includes like washing yourself, washing your dishes and your pots and pans, and consuming it, right? So, you know, to grab a case of water every time you go, they're great because you know you're going to go through them. I know in my emergency stores, like you can get the 5-gallon jugs. So for the longest time we had 5 people in the house. Now we have 6. The littlest one is only 2, so I don't know how much water she goes through. But again, a 5-gallon jug, that's 1 day. So to have, I don't know, 10 or 20 or so, like I try to keep about a month's worth of bottled water. That's without having to collect any rainwater, without having to do anything else, anything crazy. I also have some water filters, like a Brita filter with some extra filters, and that's not including stuff in my survival gear and my go bag and whatnot. But just basic, hey, we're thirsty, cool, here's a bottle of water. Don't waste it, you know. But again, to add to your preps, every time you go, pick up a bottle of water, a case of water, or one of those big jugs of water. And seltzer works too, because I remember going to Costco and oh man, we're out of water. All right, I go take a look around, and they had seltzer. Seltzer's water with bubbles in it. That'll do just fine. They make all sorts of hydration packs, whether it's your those liquid IVs or you know, any sort of electrolyte packets that you could get to help yourself get more or keep more of the hydration factor from the water that you're drinking. But again, the thing that I would make sure that I added to all of these things was making sure that we had water on store. Because remember that you can go quite a while without any food, but you won't go nearly as long without water. Again, if there's something I'm missing or you think I hit it all, let me know. But again, the best parts of these videos are always the comment section below. You know, all my warriors, my regular subscribers and active viewers and commenters and all that stuff. You guys bring so much value to the channel that if you're new here, you know, let us know what you think too, because your opinion is just as important to us. Read through the comment section below. One of my favorite things, even though I don't always have the time to get back to all the people that answer, I always get stuff out of it. I feel like you guys teach me at least as much as I'm trying to teach you guys, which, you know, I'm really grateful and appreciative for. If you made it this far and you like what I'm teaching and preaching, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and like this video. If you're loving it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you gotta have it, make sure you hit the bell notification button and the little thing where it says all notifications, so YouTube will let you know when the next video drops. If you're really digging it and you want more, you can find me on all social media platforms, especially Facebook and especially Instagram. Those are the ones I check most frequently at 5 Elements Tactical. That's all I got for now, warriors. So until our paths cross again, pray for the best, prepare for the rest. I'm Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training. Thanks for watching.